As I walked up, there was a sort of an intake of breath from several people. They just have this fear that I'm going to bring out stories from Ryan's time in Dublin, but I'm not going to embarrass them. A lot of people have said a lot of really nice, beautiful things about the two of them, and those things are true. I'm not going to try and falsify them in any way. But a lot of the things are like how smart they are, how driven they are, how intelligent, how focused, how hardworking, and all of those things shine through at different times. But what I just wanted to kind of highlight is that these guys are the most fun people I know. I don't want to be, I don't want to grow old at someone and look across the table when I'm, let's say, 90 and say, do you know what, you're really smart and driven and intelligent. I'm going to look at them and say, you are fun. And we've had 60-something years of really good fun. This has been great. And the two of these guys consistently crack me up. Later, if anyone comes up to me personally, I will tell you stories about them. And some of them are really, really good. But he's just, like, he is a genuinely fun guy to be around. And then, I've only met Hilary once before tonight, about 4 years ago. And she left an impression on me, like an actual 5-fingered impression. She smacked me so hard. It lasted 2 days, I think. But it was actually quite fun. The two of them, I know, are going to have decade upon decade of just enjoying their time together. And I think that's the most precious thing you can find. If you find someone that is that much fun, just stick with it. So, congratulations, guys. It's going to be amazing.
Absolutely. Nice to meet you.
I'll be brief. I'm not going to use the microphone. I'm going to talk tomorrow. This is hard for me. My story is this. It's all about Hilary, Ryan. It's not about you. When my mom was pregnant with Hilary, Paul and I had, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jamie. I'm Hilary's sister. When my mom was pregnant with Hilary, Paul and I had a bet going the 9 months that we were leading up to it. Is it going to be a girl or a boy? Girl or a boy? I won, obviously. We're competitive like the Hamleys. So I won that one. My father comes home from the hospital to bring us to go see Hilary. And we're like, okay, we're so excited. Paul gave me my $1. Yep, Paul gave me my $1. And then we're like, I said, well, I get to hold her first. She's a girl, I get to hold her first. And my father goes, no, Paul's older. Paul gets to hold her first. And my response to that was, Dad, you're going to be too old to walk her down the aisle. I was sorry to
She was 8 years old.
So, Dad, I'm glad you're not too old to walk her down the aisle. Ryan, thanks for proposing when Dad was not too old to walk her down the aisle. Love you guys.
These wonderful children. And when their mother and I got together and got married, it was an interesting task getting to meet these children. All are interesting in their own right and wonderful people. But one time I was coming back from, I think it was Charlotte with Christina. I don't even remember why. I think we dropped your mom off going somewhere or something. She was in college. Ryan was overseas doing his Trinity thing. We were riding along, we got to talking. I said, Christina, tell me something. My understanding is you and your mom never had that mother-daughter conflict. I know you all know what I'm talking about. And I went, why was that? And she goes, well, that was easy. I saw what happened to Ryan, and I wasn't having any part of that. So he kind of set the benchmark there, but he's done amazingly well, amazingly well. I had to bring that in there. Thank you.
Ryan, it's weird. All these stories about Hilary are so nice. I don't understand where all these stories come from you. I do have some notes that might get sweaty, so try and keep them dry. Speaking of nice, I remember remember specifically Ryan holding me by my ankles over our banister with the help of Michael, just shaking me. Just shaking me. It's a good early memory. I am the youngest of four, and he made sure that I knew that. We had some good driving experiences.
Oh, yeah.
I got two. Okay, they're kind of similar. One, we were in the car, and I was in the passenger seat, and he was in the driver, and actually both of those stories go the same way. And he decided it'd be an awesome idea to take water balloons. Okay?
Oh.
And he leaned out his window and he said, "Christina, hold the wheel. Hold the wheel. Here you go." Okay? And he would just throw water balloons all in cars. And my husband, you're a physics teacher, so you can tell me about velocity and things like that. But I think it's very fast. I ended up in a lawsuit, so we can talk about that later. The other one, again, I'm in the passenger seat. He's driving. He's 16. I'm probably, what does that make me, 12? We would always go to an hour and a half to soccer practice together, which actually was a very bonding experience in many reasons. And he was like, "Christine, I'm so tired," on the way home. Wednesday night we're driving home, and I'm just so tired. Can you drive? Let's just get out and just switch. You drive. I'm 12 years old. I can't drive. He told me to do that. I'm very conscientious. So he came up with a solution. Okay. I'll still drive, and I'm going to close my eyes. True story, I promise. You tap me when I need to brake. True story. All right. Mom didn't know about that.
Not until now.
Now, Hilary, I know you've had some too much experiences with Ryan. I want to tell you about one of mine. We played soccer growing up. And again, I'm a younger sister, not as quick, not as strong. And so we'd always play to 10. We'd be like 8-1, he's winning, 9-1, and I would quit. I don't like losing. And he would yell at me as I'm like running off crying. "You stay out here and lose properly. You gotta lose properly." Those are my mean stories, but actually those are some good stories. When I was applying to go play soccer in college, Ryan, I actually just read an email from him that he wrote me. It was 2 pages long. I mean, 2 pages long for a guy. My husband, I don't think you've never done that, right? But it was a long email just about, "Christine, you are an awesome soccer player, an awesome person. This is what you need to do to get to the college of your dreams." And every single email, you built me up. And for all the fathers out there, I didn't have one growing up for most of my life. Let's go back to the jokes. That was easier. It's very important to build up, obviously, if you have a girl, a daughter, to build up her confidence. And he really did that for me in so many different ways. He would tell me I was beautiful, and he would help me with my style because he cared more about his style than mine. You don't know how important that was to me. He asked for my hand in marriage. Sorry, my brother. I'm sorry. You're my husband. My brother, right?
Hey, get that right.
Golly.
This is your story, right?
I'm going to turn this off. Can I turn it off?
My husband went and asked permission for me to get married from both of my brothers because you guys are both so important to me and played that influential role. But Hilary, I have 3 things written out here about you that are necessary. Okay, are necessary for my brother to marry someone like this. You're smarter than him. Don't ever let him think you're that dumb. You are more stubborn than him. Good job. Keep that up. And yes, you are prettier than him. I do have one thing for you. There are moments when it's just too much, right? I've had a lifetime of too much with her. So
I may be the sole representative of Hill's Tufts contingency. So my name is Shay. I went to college with Hill. And there's so many things that I could say about the type of friend that she's been. She's incredibly kind and loyal and smart. But she's also a very intuitive person. And somehow in college I sort of earned the reputation of being one of her go-to advice-seeking friends, but much of my role was just to encourage her to follow her own intuitions. And granted, there were a few brief moments where I might have challenged those intuitions, say in London, occasionally on a vacation, or maybe in the Virgin Islands, but for the most part, Hill just had such a grace and a poise and a good sense of herself and who she was and where she was going. And I remember getting that fated call when she moved to Chicago and she met Ryan and just started thinking that he might be the one, and he was, and it was always that way. So I don't know Ryan well, but I know that this was meant to be, and I'm just very happy for you today, so congratulations.
I'm from Cheshire. No one actually calls me Jess, I'm J-Mac. I wrote some things down because otherwise it'd just be like various curse words that I don't think is very respectful at this point. Oh, I meant to say though, I just want to take this opportunity to make sure that everyone knew that Christina is a much better soccer player than Ryan is.
Thank you.
And also that in the history of time, this is the tallest bridesmaids party. No, sorry. This is probably the only time that the total of the bridesmaids' height is more than the groomsmen's. Sorry, guys. Great job. It's not your fault. Yeah, I wanted to represent the Cheshire crew, which you guys will meet them tomorrow, whether you like it or not. We'll be up in the loft, probably being ridiculous. Come up and say hi once we get unleashed. Sorry. So I met Hilary, I think in like 7th grade, about. She was a friend me down from our other friend Chrissy, who you'll meet tomorrow. And I remember just thinking kind of right away, like we had a lot in common. Like we were both kind of the normal ones out of the crew, maybe a little bit. Because if you know anything about the Cheshire crew, it's that like Chrissy's the loud one, Greer's the crazy one, Bowman's the normal one, Lindsay's the butt of everyone's joke. Sorry, Lindsay. I'm the obnoxious one, and Hilary, for lack of a better term, earmuffs, children, is the one that has her shit together. And that's why I love her, because she is always the one that I can go to for advice. I think throughout college, I spent some time at her apartment in Boston because I went to Providence. So she was definitely like an amazing sounding board and someone that I really respect just as not only a friend, but as a person. And so that being said, I always thought like, whoever dates her has to be a specimen. Like a real specimen. And I just wanted to say that you did a really good job, Ryan, because you are a specimen. Actually, your mom did a really good job. Because that's why you're a specimen. So there you go. But I think so I'm just really excited to extend the Cheshire, the Yankee hand down to the Southern hand and welcome you guys into the family. It's really exciting to meet all of you guys finally. I've heard a lot of stories about Ryan's family, and I'm so happy to meet you. And I'm so happy to have another brother, as I have a second sister. So I'm thrilled for you guys, and congratulations.
I want to hear this.
Many of you probably know, a lot of us have known Ryan for most of our lives. And backside, met Ryan in kindergarten. I think Andrew has known Ryan since 5th grade, right? So we've known Ryan for a long time through a lot of great experiences, a lot of funny experiences, a lot of embarrassing experiences, mostly for Ryan. But it's been a great ride. We've been great friends for a long time, and I know we're all thankful and excited to be here. What we were thinking what we wanted to do was tell Hilary about some of the great attributes of Ryan that you'll be able to look forward to. So I'm going to start with his smarts, his intelligence. I have 2 quick stories. One is, Ryan and I went to a I guess you call it like a science summer camp or something like that, like first grade. Yeah, it is. It is awesome. Thank you. We went to a summer science camp, and we both got goldfish at the end of the summer camp. And I spent the night at his house at the end of the camp, and his goldfish died overnight. Mine lived for 3 years. I don't know what happened, but Bubbles, I think, is what you named yours. I don't know. Frisky lived for 3 years. He was
Frisky? What do you say?
Anyways,
Frisky.
another story I'll tell about Ryan was, and Miss Hudson, who is our AP calculus teacher and also pre-calc teacher as well. She's here this weekend, but not here at this very moment. But it's too bad she's not here. But I will say Ryan probably got a lot of us through calculus because he's very good at math, and we're not the best. We did well. We all passed the AP exam. Thanks, Ryan, and not for any illegal reasons, but because we would oftentimes get together, probably twice a week maybe, to have study groups, and which most teachers I think would be proud of. I think Ms. Hudson would be proud of that. But anyways, we'd all get together and we'd have like our daily work, whatever. And we'd sit around and we'd all fumble through it, and then I think the all response would be like, "So what'd you get, Ryan?" I got this, but what did you get? But anyways, I think we all appreciate the times we had together. I think it definitely helped me get through calculus for sure. So I'll pass it on.
I didn't really do much calculus, so I wasn't a part of that. Now we all know Ryan's not much to look at now. But it's not always been that way. As the guys mentioned, I met Ryan when I moved into the neighborhood in 5th grade, and I was pretty innocent. I was still playing with my G.I. Joe toys, and dreaming about being a pro basketball player or something. Ryan, however, was already grooming. The first time I met him, he says, "So how often do you shave?" And I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. He says, "Oh yeah. If you shave more, it comes in faster." So Ryan was the best shaved guy in all of it. So he was well groomed. We've already heard about his bowl cut. That was legendary. It was long and wispy. And he is very fast, very athletic, runs the soccer field well, doesn't run the basketball court quite as well. We gave him a hard time. He was the only person I've ever seen to airball a layup all by himself on a fast break. This is our guy, but it didn't work out. Followed that up shortly after with 2 airballed free throws. So he was clutch when people were guarding him, but when he was wide open, it's not gonna happen. So he just didn't shoot when people were guarding him. That's how we never knew. But he did commit himself in middle school to being better at basketball. He's not the tallest one of us, but he was dating the tallest one of us. He had a very nice girlfriend. She was taller than anybody here. And Ryan hadn't quite hit that growth spurt yet, and so it was an interesting dynamic with her being a little bit insecure about her height, Ryan being a little bit insecure about her height. And at that time, girls are learning heels and figuring out that a bit of older fashion. So there was at our time in middle school, there was a new fashion trend that came through, and for girls it was these like clear plastic sandals, and most of them had a nice heel on it, so a lot of the girls would wear those. And I don't know, Ryan and this tall girlfriend of his got together, and I can just imagine it was Ryan's idea, because he probably figured they were unisex just enough that he could get away with wearing them. So there he was, 8th grade, still perfectly shaved, wearing girls' high-rise sandals. They were called jellies, if anybody remembers. He was wearing jellies, and so So how does that tie into something good? He tries really hard. I don't know. himself, I guess, to Ryan and always looking out for the future Hanley family.
So he's incredibly smart. He's always trying to better himself. And I will end with one last quality. And that comes from, I think, some of the time that we spent together as friends in high school and in college. We'd go camping. So we'd spend time together as guys. One of our other friends, Wyatt, who isn't able to be here tonight, his father lived in Asheville, North Carolina, which is up in the mountains. So we'd go up to the mountains for a weekend. We'd all drive up about an hour and a half away from Hickory. Once we were in college, this was one of the best ways that we would get back together after we had all been in our different places. So we all headed up to Asheville, went to the convenience store, got all of our Doritos and our Coca-Colas and maybe some beers. I don't know, maybe just a couple beers, like 4 or 5 cases of beers that we would put in somebody's trunk. Went up to the woods, made our fire, all got together, and it was great. We'd get away from things, just friends together, telling stories, catching up on everything. And I have a distinct memory of we were all sitting around the fire, all drinking beers, and Ryan would sort of get up and walk away. He'd go away somewhere. In 2 or 3 minutes, he'd come back to the fire, be drinking, having a good time, roasting a hot dog. Ryan would get up, go away, be away for a couple minutes, come back. And, we're all having a good time, having a fantastic time. Well, we start wearing down on beers. Our beers are going away. We don't have any more beer left. Ryan, sure enough, every 15, 20 minutes, going into the woods, coming back. We're trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Finally, we've gone through all of our beer. It's all empty bags of Doritos, empty cases of beer. We're all, kind of in the woods, no beers to drink. Ryan's got a full beer. He's got a full beer in his hand. I don't really understand what's happening. So he gets up to leave, and one of us gets up behind him and follows up. And sure enough, about 25 or 30 feet away from the campfire, there's an igloo cooler with Hanley written on it, where Ryan has stowed away about 6 or 12 beers just to keep cold, just to make sure that we don't run out of beers. So he's got all the beers he needs. So in addition to being smart and being always aiming high, he's also incredibly economical and thinking about the future and planning ahead. So we're really excited about that as a quality.
Yeah. So, with all those things being said, we're very excited about you two coming together, and we're very excited to meet Hilary, and everyone's been great. We'd love to meet her family as well, and we couldn't be more happy about this occasion. So we just wanted to give a toast to you guys. We love you both.
Cheers.
I am Ryan's brother, and I'm married to his older sister Megan, who couldn't make it to the wedding this weekend. But she did email me a few words to say. So y'all just bear with me for a couple minutes. I'm going to have to read this. And it's a little bit long. And I'll try not to lose my place as I go. So I'm going to have to put a serious spin on everything.
And cry.
I will try not to cry.
She will definitely
I'm sure
cry.
Megan was crying, especially when she
You'll
was
have to
writing
cry. I want tears.
With Ryan and Hilary, words cannot express how much I wish that I were there tonight. While it kills me not to be there, the trade-off is that I'm sitting here staring at the beautiful face of my 6-day-old son, your new nephew, Brennan Ryan, who we named after you. For those of you on the Hanley side, this should come as no surprise, since apparently I seem to have a biological need to time my pregnancies around siblings' weddings. I was 6 months pregnant at Michael's wedding, and 8 months pregnant at Christina's. So we have some sort of subconscious need to try to top that this time, and we just missed it that time. This is such an important day for both of you, which is why it pains me to miss it. Everyone will tell you to cherish every minute, and I know you'll try to do that, but truth be told, the day will fly by in a half-giddy blur. You will be caught up in a whirlwind of people, music, food, and drink, with the whole thing flying by quicker than you imagine. It'll be beautiful and lovely, but before you realize it, the night is over and the sun is rising. And that is when the next chapter of your life begins. The festivities leading up are a celebration of you and an expression of what you want that new life to be. But it is in the quieter moments of the days ahead that your true life begins. Day by day, year by year, you'll build a life together that will be filled with a series of moments. And in the process of living, you'll lean on each other, your faith, and your family more than you ever imagined. While it pains me not to be there for this special weekend, I know that I cannot wait to share those moments with you yet to come. You are both such special people who bring so much love, energy, and spirit to your relationship. Ryan, you know how much I think of you. I think back to all the memories we had together, especially as a result of those first years in mine and Wade's marriage, when you moved to Baltimore to attend Johns Hopkins. On the weekends, you dropped by for food, steal our potato bread, and usually have a big load of laundry. We'd come to all your soccer games to cheer you on. And then, of course, there were the many, many times where we get the late-night phone call that you were stranded at the airport without a ride, needed a ride from uptown, or wanted to borrow the car. It gave us good practice for eventually raising 3 boys. I've always had a special place in my heart for you. I know the age of 13 was a particularly rough age for you to have lost your father, but you have grown into such a great person with a lot of enthusiasm and focus. But what I admire most about you is that you live your life with such spirit and gusto. I have absolute confidence that you will succeed in whatever you decide to focus your sights on. And I have no doubt that you will always make room to enjoy life. I have no doubt that Dad is looking down on you tonight with complete pride in the man that you have become. I am so glad that you met your match in Hilary. She balances you out in the perfect way, easing any of your anxieties and insecurities with her fantastic sense of humor and balance. Together you are a wonderful combination of humor, intelligence, energy, and enthusiasm. You're a wonderful couple, and I'm thrilled to welcome her into the family. So please have a toast for me tonight, and know that I am thinking of you and desperately wishing that I could be there with you. But also know that I'll be there for all of the future moments, and if you ever need tips later in life on how to procreate with an ironic sense of timing, just let me know. I love you, Matt. And I have to love you.